All right, thanks so much for the question. The question is, so what is reverse line movement? Now, I'm going to try to do this in a more streamlined fashion. It'll be a little bit longer than 60 seconds, but I think I can get it to you pretty streamlined. So here we go. We got to make sure we're understanding what is going on, the dynamic between market making books and retail books. Market making books put up a number, that's the opening line. They take a bet, they move the line. Now, they only move the line based off of their sharp clientele betting, right? So they profile players, right? They know who's a winner and who is not. You know, why do professionals bet at market making books? Because retail books do not allow them to get money down if they have an edge, right? So at first, sure, they can open an account, but that account will get shut down very quickly when they realize they have an edge. So market making or sharps and syndicates are betting at market makers. Not only they can use beards and these other things, but that's a separate video. They are betting at market makers because market makers allow them to bet there. Okay, so market makers put up an opening spread. They take a bet by a sharp clientele. They move the number. They get another bet. They move the number. They get another bet. They move the number. All the market making model is take a sharp bet, move the number. That's the number. That's the name of their game, right? And that could be both ways, right? It could open at -2.5 for a team, and a sharp bettor bets -2.5 because they think the number is 4, and then the next guy they move it to 3, and then the next guy thinks no, +3 is too many. I think the number is that this team will lose by 2, so I think a +3 is a really good bet, and then they bet the 3, and then they move it back to 2.5. At the opening, those movements are happening much more frequently. After a day or so, all of those opinions have now been bet into the market, and the line is sitting, you know, wherever it lands on Tuesday morning or Monday morning or Wednesday morning. During all of that action, right, which is market makers acting like a market, taking information and moving the number based off that information. Retail books are just taking action, however it is that they're unsharp, I don't want to say uneducated, but non-professional, non-edge clientele are betting, right? So they're just taking it in. So if the public perceives a large edge in a game, they will start betting it, right? They'll start betting it early and they'll start betting it often. Although for the most part, they don't necessarily bet early or often, but you get the idea. The handle is growing on the public books. And then all week, the public continues to bet that side. So the handle gets more and more lopsided. Why are they okay with lopsided handles? Because their clients don't have an edge. So they're writing 50-50 chance tickets at 52.4% prices. They have an edge. At that point, they're a blackjack table. You sit down at a blackjack table, they don't care how much you put down. They have the edge unless you're counting cards, right? They're okay with you playing as long as you want to play, as long as you do not have an edge. It's no different here. So all week, they're getting money on this side, What's happening at the market makers? Say that number is just staying whatever it is. You know, let's just say it's -3. And all week, the public's like, this team is going to win by 100. Let's just use the Philly San Francisco. The public is just betting San Francisco. It's still saying at 3. Why? The professional community thinks that the 50-50 distribution or the 50-50 chance here of where this game outcome is going to be is -3 or +3. So they don't see an edge. Public just keeps betting it. The handle gets more and more lopsided. Then all of a sudden Thursday comes along and a sharp syndicate or a sharp person comes at the market maker and bets Philadelphia +3. What is the business model of market makers? Take a bet, move the line. So they take the bet at +3 and they move it to 2.5. Because the retail books copy the market makers, they move it to 2.5 because they're just copying the information, right? They want to use the information that just happened. So then now they move it to 2.5. That's what reverse line movement is. AKA reverse line movement isn't really a thing. What reverse line movement is just somebody respected, a professional, bet the opposite of what the public is perceiving as value at a market maker. And because retail books just copy market making books, the line moves in the opposite direction. Again, you can attach this into the logic of the retail book. They do not have sharp clientele or people with an edge betting there, so they are okay with lopsided handles. and they respect the market making process and the market making book's numbers, that they will move it in the direction. Why? That is where the actual information is. So it isn't anything, anything more than that. It's that basically in a nutshell, this is what reverse line movement is. The public perceives value on a side in which the professional community perceives value on the opposite side. And so it moves in the opposite direction. That's what reverse line movement is. The other happens all the time, where both the professional sports betting community and the public sports betting community both agree, and they both are betting that number up. This last week, Cincinnati was a great example. This opened at 7.5, and that closed at 10. What does that mean? That means the professional sports betting community are the ones that bought it all the way up to 10. The public was buying that all week as well on the Jacksonville side, right? They were buying Jacksonville. The professional sports betting community was buying Jacksonville, 7.5 to -8 to -8.5 to -9 to 9.5, so on and so forth. And this is not, you don't look at this as any reverse line movement or whatever. It's because the professionals were moving that number. And that game, the public also was on the sharp side. So it wasn't a pros versus Joes. But reverse line movement is basically when the professional community has a differing opinion than the public community, because retail books, copy market making books, they are going to move it in the opposite direction because somebody on the professional side bet it that way. I wasn't able to make this shorter than normal, but I hope this helps. This is a common question we get, so I hope this went into enough depth to kind of connect all the dots. But that's at fundamental. Everything's happening at the market making book. Whatever happens there gets propagated through to the retail space, and you can explain pretty much every single move from that dynamic, and you can trace it back to a move at a market maker. Period, point blank. Take care. I hope it helps.